Okay folks, so yesterday afternoon one of my daughters got home from whatever it is kids do, and she told me she had just came from the gas station and she had made a boo-boo. She realized she had put E85 into the car instead of, regular ethanol. Her car is a 2008 Honda Accord, and I'm like, well, how much did you put in? And she said, well, it had about a quarter tank and I filled it up. So anyhow, a little bit of research and says I need to get the fuel out of this car before damage to the fuel system could occur. So anyhow, I looked for some videos last night, couldn't find any specifically, but I did find a few, and I think I can piece them together here and get this job done fairly simply. So anyhow, let's dive right into this. So this is basically a two-step process. What I'm going to do is disconnect the fuel line where it enters the engine. Then I'm going to put a hose on it and run it into some gas cans. And then what I need to do is pull the fuel pump relay and jump the switch side contacts on it. And what that'll do is turn the fuel pump on constantly, and we'll just pump all the fuel, out of the tank and into the cans. So, on these Honda Accords, it's basically the same for all different, type of modern cars, but you just got to find where the fuel line comes in. And, of course, you're going to have a different fuel pump relay if you're looking at this for a different kind of car. But for the Accord, if you do have this engine cover on, take it off. It just pulls off. And right down here is where the fuel line enters the engine. Okay, so here's the fuel line entering the engine. Now, this is the first time I've ever tried taking this off, so hopefully it goes smoothly. But this is a plastic cover. I think you just push up on this side and it should pivot up. Slide that out of the way. Actually, I'm going to take it off. And then if you see these green tabs, there's two green tabs. I need to compress them and then slide the hose off. Now, this is still under pressure, so you're going to want a paper towel or shop towel or something here to grab the gas that might squirt out. And also you wouldn't want to do this on a hot engine. But so I'm going to depress these two tabs and pull back. It's coming. All right. Okay, now I'm going to measure the outside diameter of this hose, and it looks to be about 3/4 of an inch. So I'm going to run to the hardware store and I'm going to grab a piece of hose that's probably an inch in inside diameter, so I can slip it over here and get this ran into my gas cans. Okay, I'm back from the hardware store, and just let me show you what I came up with. I didn't want to bore you with filming this, but anyhow, this is 1 inch inside diameter vinyl tubing, and I'm not trying to win a beauty contest, so I just taped it off with some duct tape. And since this car has an 18.5 gallon tank, I got 3 5-gallon cans and a 2.5, so I'll probably take about 17 gallons out of here and leave a little bit in. I don't want to run the fuel pump dry, and then I'll just fill it with non-ethanol, and we should be good to go. So anyhow, yeah, you can just grab this at your local hardware store. If you're not in a big hurry and you want something cheaper, I will link some cheaper options down below. We're done with step one. Now we got to get into step two, and that is jumping the switch contacts on the fuel pump relay. So on these Accords, it's basically right behind this panel. You can try to reach up underneath if you want, but I believe it's easier just to pull this trim panel off. Release that connector, and now I have better access to it right here. So let me get down there and show you which one is the fuel pump relay. Okay, so the fuel pump relay is actually very easy to see. It's actually this blue one, top left, this big one. And if you have a different type of car, you'll just have to locate it wherever it's at within your vehicle. So I'm not going to film it. It's going to be too hard, but I'm going to get underneath here and I'm going to pull this straight out. I might need a pair of pliers to get it out of there, but I'm going to try with my fingers first, and I'll show you what it looks like when it gets out of there. So here's the relay, and I did use those little needle nose to get it out of there. It wasn't too difficult, but just be careful getting it out. Now you'll see it has 4 pins. This is not a relay tutorial, but you have a coil side and you have a load side. Now on this particular relay, these two are the load side, so this is where I need to create a jumper and jump them across. If you have a different car, don't guess. I mean, investigate your relay and make sure you know what the load side is, because if you plug the jumper into the wrong terminals, you could short something out. So, and then what I personally did, I know a lot of people use paper clips and stuff, but I just quickly made a little jumper here with 2 flat terminals, and I'm going to now reach under the dash and plug it into where these 2 terminals plug into. Once again, not those 2, it needs to be into these 2, and then we'll be ready to go to start pumping fuel. Okay, I got one side of that jumper plugged in. I'm going to reach under here and get the other side plugged in. No, I don't believe the pump should kick on yet because I don't have the key in the ignition, but I did see some videos where I think certain cars are wired such that even with the key out of the ignition, the pump will kick on as soon as you do that jumper. And folks in those videos were actually disconnecting the negative battery terminal before they plug the jumper in, and then they would just touch the terminal back onto the battery, you know, to kick the pump on and off. So anyhow, let me reach under here and see what happens. And I do have the hose in the bucket up front in case it does kick on. I think I did hear it kick on for a split second, but it's not running right now. Just to give you a peek of what it looks like with the jumper plugged in. Once again, it was on those 2 copper colored terminals that I plugged it in. Okay, I have the key in the ignition, and I'm going to go turn the key to accessory mode. Now, of course, you don't want to turn it to start because you don't want to try to start the car here with fuel disconnected. So let me go do that, and hopefully we see some fuel start to pump. Awesome, so we do have fuel flow here. Okay, as you can see, the fuel pump's pumping away. Now, I'm not gonna bore you with watching me do this whole thing, but I'm gonna basically pull about, I'm assuming about 16, 17 gallons out of here. Now, you don't want this to run dry because you can damage your fuel pump. It actually uses the fuel for lubrication and cooling. So make sure you do not run it dry. If you, you know, you might even need a helper here to make sure as it starts spitting, if you want to get it all out of there, you haven't shut the ignition off immediately. I'm not done yet, but I wanted to give you a tip. So one thing I noticed was I developed quite a leak right through here. So if you do something jimmy rigged like I did here, just make sure you spend a little bit of extra time and get this duct tape very well. So, you know, I did shut it off and have it restarted now, and things look really good. So I'm done removing the amount of fuel I wanted to, and I'm actually going to leave this set up because I got a few more gas cans in the house and I have a little bit of room left in this can. And what I'm going to do is go fill it up with non-ethanol fuel, and then turn the ignition on for a little bit longer. That way the E85 that's in the lines also gets flushed with fresh fuel. Same if you had old fuel in the car and you're trying to get rid of it, I would do the same thing. Just let it run a little bit longer to clean the lines out so you're not burning old fuel. So heading to the gas station now. Out with the old, in with the new. Okay, let me tell you where I'm at right now. So the car is fully topped off with non-ethanol fuel, so the few gallons that are left in there will just dilute just fine. Now, I did come back and turn the ignition back on to let it run for 15 seconds. I pumped all that E85 out of the fuel lines. I did pull the jumper and I slid the relay back in, and now I'm getting ready to put the trim panel back in. And I just wanted to give you a tip here. If you've never pulled the trim off before, if these little white clips remain in the holes, you got to get those out and put them back on before you snap this on. Couple other tips, I mentioned it, that duct tape I had out there, that's probably not the best idea in the world. I had quite a leak, but got it retaped and it worked out pretty well, but there might be a better way to do that. Now, if you do have any other tips or ideas, please leave them in the comments and then I'll update the description. So as this video ages, hopefully there's some good information down in the description. But I'm going to get this snapped back in, and then I'll go out and show you how to reconnect the fuel line, and then the car's ready to start. Now, one thing I might do before I started is, since I did have some gas, I might get the hose out and just kind of rinse it out under there. That way there's not a bunch of fuel sitting on the motor when I start the engine. All right, let's get this fuel line hooked back up, and yeah, there's probably a better idea than that duct tape. That gasoline just kind of ate at all the adhesive, but now it's all sticky. Let's get this back on here. I'll try to keep my fingers out of the way this time. Squeeze the tabs. Okay, that looks to be on, and then we'll get the clip. It just hooks back on here and hopefully snaps right over. Perfect. Okay, we're good to go. I think the car's ready to start. So I'm getting ready to start the car, and I did actually drag the hose over from the house and kind of hosed the bottom of the engine off just in case there was some fuel sitting on it. So let the fuel pump prime a second. Fire it up. So I'm actually going to run out now and check the high pressure fitting out here where the fuel goes into the engine to make sure I don't have a leak. Nothing spraying. So, okay, all in all, I wouldn't say this job's too bad, right? I think the longest time it took was to actually pump the fuel out because it comes out so slow, but pretty simple. Hope my daughter doesn't do it again, and if you do appreciate this type of content, please give me a like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.